I think he made a really great comparison. He says, if you go to a pharmacy and you didn't have a prescription and you just said, give me something off one of those shelves, that's a life-saving drug for somebody who has some kind of affliction, but it might kill you if that's not what you need. So I think that's the key thing about coaching.
Tony Ruggiero here. If you like what you're listening to on the Tour Coach podcast, please do me a favor. Make sure you like and subscribe. And most importantly, would you please drop me a comment below about how I can help you with your golf game? That's why I'm here, to make you play better golf. Welcome into the Tour Coach this is kind of cool, from another Airbnb in Palm Beach. We've done them actually here before. From one of our retreat weekends down at Dutchman's Pipe, and we got an illustrious crew. We got Matt Rudy down to join us. Always good to have Matthew with us. He'll probably ask the majority of the good questions, and we will talk a little bit about rock and roll music. And also the fact that Claude said I had a 15% chance of it working out with Gwen Stefani. I'd like to get into that later. Everybody should try that. Not Gwen, because I feel like that. Yeah, she's funny. Anyways,
And it'd be awkward.
Yeah, it would be awkward, especially because I'm a big Blake Shelton fan. But we got Connor Loop, Director of Instruction up at Bluebell Country Club, as well as down at TPC Prestancia. We got my boy Coot, legend from the tour, longtime caddy on the PGA Tour, and now, well, he caddies at Augusta National, as well as just always spending time with me down here helping young players. David Perkins, Perky, is playing on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's off on a medical right now, and we're trying to get him into a hair replacement program. And then we got Shuby from over at the Asian Tour, who we could probably take some hair off his legs and put on Perkins' head, and everybody would work out. So anyways,
but since we
can't do that and probably shouldn't do that right now, we're going to turn. Rudy, you've been around us a bunch. I love these weekends. Yep. They're my favorite thing that we do. I think personally they're fantastic for people that really want to get better. And I will announce that we're going to do something a little different in the future. Jackson Court came up with the idea with, instead of calling them retreats, we're going to call them DewSweeper escapes.
I like that.
Because they do escape reality a little bit when you come down here.
Well, I mean, I think the best part of this is that it aggregates the physical stuff in terms of what exercises you have to do to get your body to respond to the swing that a coach wants you to make. So you've got the fitness training component. Mm-hmm. You've got the golf swing, the teaching component. Then you have the playing component, and you bring these great players who are, playing at this really high level. And then you have the decision-making component with Coop. And I think so little of golf instruction is aggregating all the pieces that go to making a good player, that this, when you can come drop into this, you're dropping into what it takes for you to be a good player at the level where you play. It doesn't matter if you're a tour player, doesn't matter if you're a 20 handicap, doesn't matter if you're a 10 handicap. It's how do you be a complete player at the level you play? And it's not just golf swing, and it's not just decision making, and it's not just fitness. It's all those things merged together.
Great.
And I'm sure the guys here who are playing for a living can vouch for the fact that if it was just golf swing, that would be easy. Mm-hmm. But there's more to it than just golf.
Would it be fair enough to call this a golf mall?
Yeah, sense? A buffet, a golf buffet.
Everything you need right there in one shot.
All of a sudden,
just saying.
All of a sudden, I feel like I'm at the Golden Corral.
That has nothing to do with anything. But I mean, you get everything you need right here one weekend.
But I'm sure you guys would vouch for the fact that when you show up on the practice tee, whether it's an Asian Tour event, Korn Ferry, everybody hits the ball
good.
Well.
Good, yeah.
It's not like there's a bunch of guys.
Except for Ian Poulter, who you brought up earlier. He said he sounded clanky.
But I mean,
the ball.
I mean, when I was at Golf Digest, I would do these stories with Randy Smith, and he would be talking to Scottie Scheffler, and Scottie would talk about how in a given week he was slapping it. To him, that was the ultimate insult about his ball striking, like he was slapping it that week. But relatively speaking, compared to the mere mortals, he's not slapping it. Everybody, when you walk down the range, you guys know, everybody hits the ball well. For that given week, it isn't who's flushing it. It's all the other stuff that goes with it.
100%.
So I think one of the things that's important for players to learn, these two guys and I've had this conversation, Coop and I over the years a million times, and I had it with Rafa Campos today, was like,
Where was he today?
he was at ISCO up in Kentucky, right? And called me, and he's, top 10 after the first 2 days, and he's starting to play better. And Coop and I've talked a bunch about this, but like the fact, like it's a good thing when you don't hit it perfect or hit it great and you're still playing good,
Perform.
because that shows, one, there's more to playing good golf than swinging perfect or hitting it great. And I think that, like, one of the things that I try to show these young people that are here this weekend, I mean, most of the folks here this weekend we're all going to work as well. And we have worked, me and Perky, but these young up and coming players is helping them understand that being a really good player in whatever level you aspire to play at isn't about hitting it perfect all the time. And, that's, I think, a big lesson, because these junior golfers had one out there this afternoon. I mean, they all get all into the AJGA stars you got to get. I've got to shoot X this week, whatever it is, or college players. You get wrapped up into the idea that you've got to swing it perfect or hit it perfect to be a good player. And that's not the case. I mean, talk a little bit about that. I mean, Perky, you can, and Shuby. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about Shuby here in a minute too. We're going to lay down on the couch and we're going to do a little seance.
That's fine.
Because
Go ahead,
that's not weird.
No, that's not weird at all. I mean, actually, for DewSweeper stuff, that's not even close to
I like to
weird.
blow some blue dust on my forehead. That'll fix you. But that don't fix you, does it, Tony? This fixes you. What we're doing.
What's the blue
You
dust?
just put on top of stuff
Oh,
and you're fixed.
Okay.
That doesn't happen.
all right.
You
Perkins,
can
what
work.
do you think about all this?
I think it's good info. I mean, you see guys play the game a different way. Everyone's different. You brought up Gerard the other day or earlier
Mhm.
today. Knows how to play golf. That's a big
Right.
part of it. So, it's just who can get their ball in the hole the best. It doesn't have to look pretty. Have some guys flush it, some guys don't hit it as good, but they're good in the hole. So,
Coop, I'm gonna kick this to you. You were out there a long time. Going on the misnomer that you have to stripe it all the time, can't hit a bad shot. Talk about, are there any instances where you saw a great player, like where they didn't have their best, clearly didn't hit it great, but still beat everybody's ass?
Well, I've seen it a lot of times where what should have been a 78, they turn into a 69 or maybe level par
Or even a 73.
or whatever.
Yeah, just to stay around.
Because everyone's going to have a bad day. You're going to wake up one day, your body's not going to feel right. Whatever. It's managing those days that make you a pro.
What do you think they did that helped them manage that? What
I
was,
think it's all up here really, and trusting what you guys teach them. Just like we teach these students here, you got to stick to what you know and what you do. Don't go changing stuff up because you don't feel the same. Would you agree, David? A lot of it is managing those bad days to get the most out of that round, because I think there's going to be one out of the four.
mhm.
It's going to be
That's what's
the worst. It has to be statistically, but it's how to manage that one round where you're not quite clicking.
Yeah, and it might be a couple rounds that week.
Right on.
The best players still shoot 2 or 3 under when they don't have it.
Mhm.
That's how it goes.
Ty used to say the V game or whatever, but that's pretty much.
Depending on the week and the golf.
But Coop, just from watching you, when I watch you with 10 handicaps, 12 handicaps, 15 handicaps, the thing that you say consistently is when you're in trouble, get out of trouble. Don't compound
Correct.
the mistake. And I think that's true for whatever level player. The best players, it's okay to make a bogey.
Absolutely.
They don't make a triple.
I think.
Right.
Yeah, for amateurs, it's even more so true to get the ball back out where it's in front of.
Get back and play.
Right. And we saw an instant today where, it just wasn't smart what they were doing, and we knew it, but
What was it? What was the
Well,
example?
You know,
You don't have to call the player out.
I'm
Just
not gonna.
call out the situation.
Well, this is as a caddy, this is the way I see it. If I'm caddying for you and you can't hit it off a wooden peg where we're looking, why are we going to try something out of the rough harder? It's just not smart.
That's a great line.
And I
It
try
is a
to
great
keep
line.
on smartness. Like, let's do something that makes sense. This doesn't make sense, but that's the difference there is getting it back out and play, and not just back out and play. It's back out and play with an angle, or back out and play
Well, it shows you
with a
trust.
number.
You trust your game too.
Correct.
You can get up and down.
You
for
got
it.
something to rely on, not just I'll just punch this out. I hate that.
Didn't Tiger Woods wear out a Open Championship just hitting iron off the tee and just?
Yeah, I was there. He sure did.
You never got into a bunker the whole week.
And that was
Yeah.
the key. I mean,
Yeah.
that's golfing evolved.
Well, then I think what it does is it says to the rest of the field, I'm not going to make a mistake. So if you're coming for me,
And if I do,
Good
it's
luck.
going to be the correct mistake. I think we're all going to make mistakes, but it's going to be in the correct spot.
Correct.
Well, and I was talking to one of our players today, and I think some of the things they do is that they make a mistake, or not a mistake, they make a bogey,
Right.
or whatever, and then the next hole they feel like they've got to get it back,
Gotta make
and they make inappropriate decisions. They are too aggressive with a wedge, those types of things. And you go back, like you brought up Tiger, and about the whole, the point game you used to play, but where you don't make doubles, you don't make bogeys on par fives, and you don't miss screens with wedges, right? Like was kind of a recipe. You don't three putt, right? And like that really is the recipe for good golf. And when you watch the guys or girls that are playing the best in the world, and when they're winning, especially when they go on runs, they don't do that. They don't make that very often, right?
Exactly right.
Boring golf is good golf.
Coop, how do you help a player not make those mistakes? Is there a way to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. Like my best round last year, caddy in Augusta, was for a 72-year-old, a woman that was 72. And she told me on the range, get me to 60 yards and I can get the ball up and down. So all day long, I got her to 60 and she did it every single time in shot level par.
Wow.
And I mean, it
That's
was
amazing.
the most fun that I've had on the golf course in a long time with a woman that didn't even have a handicap. Because she knew what
Whoever her 60-yard and in coach is, we need to hire that
She didn't have a coach. She's played her whole life, never a coach,
right?
just played the game, was connected, and knew that if she had a 60-yard shot, that's all she knew. She was wrong. When I knew and been around professionals that really don't punch out to a certain number, I mean, a lot of guys are good at it. And some guys lose their mind and go, I'm in trouble, I'm just punching this off. And I hate that. I'm like, no, this is a chess game. Let's don't just punch out. It's like when a pro gets on a par four that's an iron. It's just a 4-iron. No, it's not. It's a 4-iron at that, ending up there.
Which leaves you X.
That, right. It's not just, golf isn't just about that if you're trying to do it at the top level.
I think it's like watching pool.
Yeah, it's like battleship.
When you leave the cue ball, you see. I mean, anybody can make a shot in pool,
Right.
but when you watch the control they have over the cue ball and where it goes, and that
Very good call.
easy leave.
Yes. We can make it easy for ourselves playing this game. Really, I mean,
Well, I think what you guys prove in this setting here is that that's not a skill that's reserved for guys that are playing for a living. It can be a junior player who wants to go play pro golf at some point. It can be the 10 handicap, the 15 handicap. Anybody can do better at
You
that.
seldom run across a golfer that wants to shoot higher. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I'd like to be higher when I shot low. But, every person that plays this game wants to cut shots off of their game. No one wants to.
Yeah.
It's true. That's just how it is.
But why, when it comes time to make the decisions on the golf course that help you shoot the lower scores, are people unwilling to do it?
Discipline. no discipline. It takes a lot. Just because you can hit a ball on the green doesn't mean you have to do it. I mean, you might end up in a worse spot on the green than you could not hitting the green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the other part too is these guys here are playing for a living where making a triple can mean you go home.
Mhm.
Whereas if you're a handicap player, in the end, if you shoot 79 or 82,
Your wife's not going to take the sheets away from you.
right? So you'd rather have the memory of, making a birdie putt or something. I mean, the stakes are different.
Yeah.
You're not sleeping on the
But
floor.
that discipline is hard to.
Exactly.
hard
You're
to-
right.
Yeah.
It is. And it's discipline.
I had a question, like when you're describing all the stuff that you're saying, let's say you're on someone's bag, let's say you're on my bag. I've never, like hearing you talk, I've never thought about when I'm in trouble, like punching out with a strategy in mind.
Right.
Like that's such a higher level, almost decision. Do you think that doing that throughout your round of golf,
That's the
throughout
only way
the
I learned
tournament?
it was from working for the best in the world. That's the only way I learned it.
It's every shot. It's
every
not
single
just a
shot.
trouble shot. It's
It's
every shot.
single shot.
Do you think
It's
that
so
eases?
methodically thought out.
Do you think that eases up your? My question would be like, if you go through that process before you hit the shot, do you think that helps you?
I think it relieves the
Be-
anxiety
Yeah,
because
you more
you're in
clarity.
you're in a spot already where the anxiety's up.
You're doing something on purpose.
So it's like a lot of times at Augusta will go to hit from the straw, and I'll go, let me stop you. You have to get your feet on the ground. You
Yeah.
can't just stand on that straw. You can slip.
Split.
You got to build a stance, not build a stance, but you got to get that straw where you can ground it
Mm-hmm.
and make a turn. You can't build a stance and be stroke.
Yeah.
Too. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's small things like that everyday players that play, recreational, they don't think about it because they don't think this game goes that in depth. But it's every single shot.
Or they think they're not good enough to do
Correct.
that.
You have to be keyed in on it, committed 100%, or no doubt.
If I'm a 15 handicap at my club and I hit a poor tee shot, is there a basic, like, two-part question I'd ask myself? Like, should I do this? Should I do this? That you could almost use as a generic to start to learn it?
It's always lie, length, and, pretty much. I have an elimination system when I'm caddying for guys that are good. And then I have a system for, just recreational players. But to your question, see, there's nothing wrong with hitting backwards if it puts you in a better position. You understand? I mean, you never see anybody hit the ball backwards,
Never.
but sometimes you have to. Whatever you have to do in golf to save a stroke is what you got to do. I mean, I'm usually in trouble a lot at Augusta with the, guests and stuff, but we managed to figure a way how to get it back out of play. For sure.
So Shuby, been playing around the world. Got off to a pretty good start, and then we struggled a little bit.
Mhm.
Analyzing all of what you've done and you've gone through, what have you learned about yourself and about your game through playing professional golf? I know that was deep.
Yeah, there's, I feel like I learn each week, and
And I'm super excited tomorrow, actually, for Coop to spend some time with you on the golf.
word for word, I was gonna say that I think it, just hearing him talk about golf is like his perspective is so much different about the game. I've learned that, and I think my conversations with Dr. Greg Carton, he always talks about like when we get to this level, that we have the skill set needed already. Like we don't need to get 50% better to get to the next level or get to where we want to get to. It's just being able to access the skills we already have.
And make a good decision.
Yeah, and I felt like I've taken a break, haven't played for a few days. I come back and like I'm able to hit the ball just as well as like about as good as I need to compete.
Talk a little bit about, I thought this was fascinating, Coop. I think you'll like this. hadn't played,
hmm
told him to take some time off, comes back, and he goes and he played 9 holes. What happened?
Yeah.
Hadn't played, and he'd been playing shitty.
Yeah. Hadn't played.
Takes a little break.
Took a break. I was wondering because I was gonna go come see Tony. I was wondering what kind of practice he wanted me to do before. He was like, just go play golf. So I went and warmed up. I took a bunch of stuff out of my bag, so I didn't have all my training aids.
Mhm.
I didn't have alignment sticks in my bag. Didn't even have my full set. I had 10 clubs. Just carried them onto the range, hit 10 balls, hit a few putts, went and played 9 holes, and I shot 4 under. And the first hole, I remember I hit a 3-wood down the middle, and I had an in-between club, and I'd taken out my pitching wedge. So I took a 9-iron and hit a little 3/4 shot. And I feel like, and I've talked to Tony about him, like I feel like I'm not very good at taking distance off clubs. And this was coming off a break,
You have to.
Didn't-
do it.
didn't warm up, and it's almost as if like the skills there, we just,
Don't.
or I do a poor job of like allowing myself to access it.
I don't think doing a poor job's the right word. We just haven't done a good enough job helping you access it.
Right.
Well,
To get
yeah.
those in there.
I mean, that's part of it too. But one of the best descriptions I ever heard about tour golf is that, I mean, there's obviously people like Tiger who are an outlier when it comes to skill, but for the most part, everybody's coming into the battle with the same kind of skill set. And what wins tournaments is deteriorating from your peak the least.
Mm-hmm.
So when the pressure comes on, everybody deteriorates a little bit, but the players that are winning are the ones that deteriorate the least. It isn't hitting heroic shot after heroic shot. It's being able to deal with all the things that come with playing
The
under
ups and the downs.
pressure.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you start to have that mindset and say, well, I every shot that's being demanded of me, I've hit it a bunch of times. I know I can hit that shot. What it really comes down to is, can I hit that shot right now?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good.
I'm here with my favorite staycay, the Transfusion, and I'm going to give you a tip that's going to help change your golf swing. Do you struggle with your takeaway? Do you struggle with the position of your trail arm at the top? Just grab you a Staycay Transfusion, put it between your hands, just like you're gripping a club, and turn to the top and pretend you're going to throw this beautiful Staycay right over your right or trail shoulder. Have you a Staycay, do this drill, and get better at the game of golf. And follow us over to DewSweeperTV.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you were saying, Dave, was like when we go out on a range or a tour event, everyone seems to hit the ball just as well as.
And hit whatever way they want. You wanted
Yeah.
to draw, you wanted to fade? Sure,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
But
great.
can you do it over there?
Yeah.
That's
Under the lights.
that's where it deteriorates.
But I've also seen guys hit it horrible Monday, Tuesday,
And then just tear it up Thursday,
And-
Friday.
play great.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a lot. And I
Right.
think that's expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Lowering your expectations. That's just my thought on it. Because I'm not a gambling man, but people that gamble, we'd always say, so and so's got the flu. And I'd just be listening to the gamblers, and I think
Bet.
against.
Beware of the
Oh,
wounded golfer.
Right. It's like the expectations are down.
Yeah.
So that tells me that a lot of this game is we're detrimental to ourselves
Mm-hmm.
because of the way we think. How many people go around going, damn, I'm good? Very few.
What else you got, Matthew? Got another topic for us? We're on a roll.
I think it's I don't think people realize how much dedication and practice and willingness to put yourself on display it takes to be a pro player. I think the willingness to go in and say, here's what I'm doing, tell me what I can do to do better. Just that part of it by itself separates so many players.
And I think the one
Players.
thing people have to understand is that, like, first of all, these two guys, where they are, how much better they are than 99.9% of all the players. And these people that say, this guy at my club's a good player, he's a +2 or +3, he probably could make it
No.
if he played. I don't think they realize the difference between where Shuby and Perkins are and that guy.
You put that guy's game in a suitcase, it goes to shit.
Well, I mean, I think the other part that people don't realize.
It's true.
That's gonna be a damn quote right there.
But you look at,
It doesn't
I
travel.
mean, Scottie Scheffler's the number one player in the world, and he took time off. And I can remember talking to Randy Smith, his coach, and there was a time when Scottie was practicing after taking a little bit of a break, and his grip had moved like 1.5 inches on the handle.
Wait a minute, say this?
So this is a guy who hits more balls than anyone. So if you're a tour player and your grip could move
That much.
1 inch, and I'm sure you've seen it.
Think about it.
If that player can look down at his hands every day and look at it, and the look feels to him like that's right, but it's not really where it should be. It just shows you that the relentless attention to detail that you have to have to play well, and the openness to have somebody look at you and say, "Here's what I see. Try this adjustment." You know,
Well, I think
to have that growth mindset is a big deal.
I think one of the great things as a golf teacher about Scottie Scheffler, and there's a lot of them, but is the fact of how diligent he is and how they focus on the grip. And
He
yet,
has a minder grip in his bag.
correct. And yet, when you look at all the shit that's out there, and you all look at all these people that look at all these crazy things, and they're talking about all these different shallowing moves and different shit, and they don't even ever look at what the guy's grip's at, how he's postured, or how the club faces, or whatever. And yet, here's the best player in the world by far. I know he had a rough week this week, barely missed a cut. But I think Perkins is spot on. If I was a betting man, which I'm not very often, I would bet
He's in the hunt.
my house in Key West on Scottie Scheffler next week.
Yeah.
I think coming off,
You heard it here first.
I think coming off a miscut, but I just think his attention to detail and their fixation and with making sure that that's perfect and what all happens after that is unbelievable.
You know, the scary thing is that half the tour probably feel the same way about it next week.
Yeah.
But can you imagine having one of the greatest ball striking years in the history of the PGA Tour, like he had? And his mindset in the off season is, well, how do I go do better stuff next year?
Mm-hmm.
It isn't, I was awesome, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's, nope, I want to be better next year. And I think that's instructive for players at any level, whether you're someone trying to play tour golf, if you're a 15 handicap, a 20 handicap, a junior who wants to go play better.
And here's where I think
to say, how do I get better?
So like if you compare him to Tiger, I mean, and you've interviewed and know more about it, but and you obviously caddied it, but like I think Tiger always tried to change to get better, right? He changed teachers several times in an attempt to get better.
Yeah.
Scottie's attempt and pursuit to get better doesn't seem to take that same path. It's more like I would think, and it's more like just trying to refine skill sets. That would be what I would see. I'm not sure what you see.
Seems like
about
he tries to go back to what.
But I just think if you look at the putting, for example, the willingness to switch to a saw grip, the willingness to switch from a blade head to a mallet head. And I mean, I'll never forget Tom Watson almost won the Open Championship when Stewart won.
Yeah.
The least popular
Right. So
win ever.
So Watson flushes his approach shot.
Unbelievable. Didn't hit a bad shot.
Hits it just off the green, and he didn't have a great approach putt, and he was real shaky on the next putt. And somebody asked him during that time, have you ever considered going like cross-handed or doing an alternative putting stroke? And he said, I would never do that because that's somehow sort of contrary to what golf is.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really odd answer because the other players that I've been around, I mean, Scottie's a good example. he started working with Phil Kenyon, and
Mm-hmm. Done amazing.
they said, why don't you try switching your grip to this? And he's like, if that's going to make me putt better, I'm going to try that. And he did that. And just to be open and willing to try something different. Matt Fitzpatrick hits cross-handed pitch shots. To be a PGA Tour player and be willing to go out and hit cross-handed pitch shots.
Did it one night in Louisiana.
That's,
because he couldn't chip.
Mhm.
Standard.
Yep.
But I think that's so to make that change and go cross-handed on a chip. I mean, that's got to be a better move.
But I just think, when you're playing for a living and you have, and I had this conversation with Victor Hovland, and what I really admired about what he had to say was, this is a guy who will take advice. Like, he'll go on Instagram, and if there's a tip that he thinks is a good one, he'll go try it. But he said pretty forcefully in the interview, I'm the captain of my boat. So my responsibility is to try to kind of remember kind of what the thread is of how I play. It's my responsibility that if I try something to back up if it doesn't work. But
That's interesting.
But to be willing to kind
Change
of
your whole.
look across the entire spectrum of information, and to be skilled enough to say, I'm going to listen to what you say. I'm going to listen to what you say. I'm going to listen to what you say. Okay, I don't think that's great for me right now. I'm going to try a little bit of this. But to be able to be willing to exercise that much control over your career.
Didn't he make a big swing change, like in the last year, Hovland?
Sure, he's open.
Always tinker.
Yeah.
He's open to
Right.
anything that comes. But you'll see a lot, and you guys know this better than anyone. You see a lot of players who will, when they get some coaching and it doesn't go well, they are very quick to say, "Wow, I listened to Coach ABC and I totally lost my way." Whereas if you talk to Tiger Woods, or you talk to Victor Hovland, or you talk to players who've gone through that, they will say, "It's my decision. It's my decision what I do or don't do." There's all kinds of advice out there. I'm the one who decides what gets onboarded or not, and they own that.
And I
decision.
think our job as coaches and teachers nowadays, especially of players trying to become very good and tour players, is as much as anything to be a guide, to help guide them and keep them on their path, because there's so much information, and every one of them is going to come to you with, at some point, with something they saw on Instagram, something they saw on YouTube, something they saw another player do on the range.
But that's why Butch Harmon's so good. Is he creates belief.
Because Butcher said go home.
Butch creates belief. He says,
He does.
I've seen the best players in the world, and you're just as good as they are, and they believe it.
Because he's right.
Right.
In a sense, he's right.
How do you get to where you get that type of belief from a player? It's got to be from his success, right?
Sure.
Just he's had however many of the number one players in the world, and I've been lucky to go watch and teach and hang out a fair bit, and watch and teach a tour player.
I think we're in a fascinating time because there's so much data where you can objectively say the way I hit the ball today is better than the way I hit the ball yesterday in terms of the metrics, the way a TrackMan measures what you do.
Yeah.
So it's much harder to use smoke and mirrors and say, oh, he's stack and tilt, he's better or he's worse. There's objective data that proves if something is better or not better. That's an advantage to the player and to the coach. You can say, look, we wanted to improve this metric in your golf swing, and guess what? By the end of these 2 or 3 days we've spent, look how much more ball speed you have. Look how you can prove things. But on the other side of that is there's just an incredible fire hose of information out there. You guys are, you could open up Instagram tonight before you go to bed.
And David might. He's probably sick of what I told him.
But you could see if you hit a shaky 60-yard pitch shot today, you could go on Instagram tonight and look at 50 videos that tell you what to do or not do. And I think what's really interesting about the role of a coach now So I think the best coaches are almost like concierges of their players' golf experience, which means everything from I'm having trouble hitting a 60-yard pitch shot. Can you show me how to do it? To, hey, I just watched so and so win. I watched Aaron Rai win the PGA Championship, and he hit these amazing shots with hybrids and fairway woods. And the coach, and when you're talking to your 12 handicap or 15 handicap student, there's this open line of communication where you're talking about what the tour players are doing. You're talking about what the new equipment is doing or not doing. You're talking about what technology is good to have or not have.
Yeah.
Where it's an ongoing conversation where it's about their entire golf life. It isn't just put your hands on it like this and do this, do that. Because if that relationship doesn't exist, I mean, I've been writing and making videos about golf instruction for almost 30 years, and I can get overwhelmed by the information that's out there. So if you're just somebody who joined up at a new club, or you went and got a new set of lessons, or the just the velocity of what's coming at you, if you don't have some kind of framework to think about that, from the way your body works, from what's appropriate for you versus appropriate for this person over here.
Well, I try to
you can get overwhelmed.
I try to guide young teachers. We fortunately or unfortunately have a bunch of young teachers that reach out to us and want to be mentored. And one of the things I told one the other day that reached out from up near Morgan's area. And I said, like, the first thing you really need to do, and Connor's heard this, is you've got to have a framework, a structure of something you're trying to do and you believe in. And you got to start there. If you every day roll out on the tee and you're just willy-nilly grasping at shit, reacting to what's going on, like, I don't think that works.
Like practicing without any kind of
Correct.
a position to where your position changes once. It's different.
Correct. 100%.
The same.
You got to have something you believe in, something you start with, in a structure. And everybody likes to say that teaching within a system is bad. But like, everybody has a fucking system, right? Everybody has a preference. Everybody has something that they prefer. Some are better stepping outside that and helping people that don't fit it, but everybody has something that they prefer and they believe. I don't care. And, I think that, I think guiding players, though, is you've got to have a belief structure. And, players, when they come to you, our job is, because there's so much information out there, is to help guide them through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a book years ago with
Was it me? Was it Lessons of the Legends?
Yeah.
That was probably, I mean, first of all, if you're listening to this, you haven't bought Lessons from the Legends, available on Amazon. We can get Coop to sign a copy for you and send it to you next week.
But I wrote a book with a couple of really talented peak performance coaches. One was the lead trainer for Edward Jones, and one was the sports performance guy for the St. Louis Cardinals, the baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
And a point they made really early in the book that made a tremendous amount of sense to me is that your phone, I mean, you're over there looking at your phone right now. Our smartphones have trained us to multitask and look at a bunch of different things all the time. But the reality is, humans in general have not evolved as fast as the technology has evolved.
Oh, wow.
So we don't have the ability to multitask and look across channels, as the capability of that device to show you 100 different things is much more developed than our brain is at processing so many different channels of information at one time. And I think what the greatest coaches are doing is they understand how to look at things and come up with an order of operations. This is the first thing we need to talk about. This is the next thing we need to talk about. And creating a pathway toward improvement, as opposed to the way all of us consume Instagram or a social channel, which is, if you go sit there with your phone and just keep doing this, you could look at 150 pieces of information about the golf swing, of which 2 might be
and a couple other
for
things.
you.
How many guys on Sunday go, I'd like to thank Instagram?
Sure. I mean,
No.
Your friend and mine, Mark Blackburn,
No.
put it, I think he made a really great comparison. He says, if you go to a pharmacy and you didn't have a prescription and you just said, give me something off one of those shelves, that's a life-saving drug for somebody who has some kind of affliction, but it might kill you if you want, that's not what you need. So I think that's the key thing about coaching, which is
And I think that's
there are
the
things
art
that
of
fix
coaching.
people,
That's
but
the art of
yeah,
coaching.
what might fix you might make you hit grounders.
Worse, right?
I'm not going to make you hit a grounder tomorrow.
Let's say you hit grounders.
We're going to start there.
It'd be troublesome.
They call that traj. It's got great tour trajectory.
Trajectory. Yeah, we keep
Trash.
it low. Top it.
Start low.
Only going up from here.
That's
Shoot.
right.
Guys, this was fun. Always a fun weekend. Coop, thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Shoe, I'm excited to get a little work in tomorrow.
I am. I'm excited to talk to Coop more about
Yeah,
the game
no, we're
of
going to have
It's all
some
going to be fun.
golf.
Perk.
We'll-
Good having you back. Good having you back, healthy, feeling good.
Yes, sir.
And we fixed the aim. Connor, you're doing a hell of a job up there. Keep up all the good work. Matthew, always great having you around. We got some good content. We shot out there. We shot a bunch of good stuff. We're going to shoot some good stuff on the golf course tomorrow as well. So,
Shout out to the pipe.
oh, that's right. I didn't know where you're going. Shout out to the pipe.
Well,
That's
that's
like, shit. Did we hit the pipe? I mean, what are we doing here?
how much better.
I just want to say shout out to Rod Stewart.
Oh,
Okay, let's talk about it. I want everybody out there that's watching this to weigh in, comment, whatever. I'll give you, if you put the right comment in on our YouTube, I'll send you free Cleveland wedges. Is Rod Stewart, how do we want to phrase this? Is Rod Stewart a rock and roll artist or a pop artist? I vote rock and roll. I think, and I also think Matthew said that he thought Madonna.
Had more songs that rocked out than Rod Stewart.
That's such bullshit.
Let's ask.
Let's
Let's ask the audience. One, is Rod Stewart or Madonna more of rock? I'm going to go with Rod Stewart, and we haven't even got into Tina Turner. That'll be next episode because you can't get Nutbush City Limits. Oh my God. Anyways, Ike knows. Yep. All right. Appreciate you watching the Tour Coach. We'll be back next week.